I believe today is August 29th, 2023. Unfortunately, I've lost track of the actual date. But it doesn't matter now. My days have run together in the recent chaos which befell the world. I'm recording this epilogue of my escape from the ISS and a subsequent mission to offer an official record for whom I don't even know. It's simply a habit I can't seem to break. The regimented structure of an orderly government entity like NASA is drilled into a person into its second nature. I'm following orders from an organization which no longer exists. It's an apocalyptic joke, which no one else is around to witness. When they approached the station 11 days ago, I planned to use the station's self-destruct module to take out a few of those bastards with me. For all I knew, there were tens of millions of those shitheads back on Earth. If so, it would have been a hollow victory. It would have been a hollow victory, and my martyrdom wouldn't accomplish much. It might appear selfish, but I wanted my death and the end of my friend, Max, to mean more than two-dimensional kamikaze rebellion. As the spiraling situation evolved, an opportunity arose at the last second, which I seized without hesitation. I'd theorized their species coveted the planet because they breathe oxygen, the same as humans and Earth-based insects. It was sound logic, and I was right about the hunch. They required a pressurized vessel to travel through space, so I had a potential means of getting back to the planet when they returned to the surface. If I destroyed the station on their arrival, it would only kill a few, and I couldn't have that. No, I decided that I wasn't going out that easy. You have to pick your battles, and this wasn't it for me. Once back on Earth, I had hoped to eventually rendezvous with survivors and form a resistance front. First, I had to slip past them when they docked with the station. Then, I had to stow away and remain fully hidden until they had satisfied their curiosity over our SOS broadcasts. I told Max my plan and instructed him to play the messages on a continuous loop over the PA system. If they believed they were not automated, they might accept the station was actually unmanned. Max's AI appeared to have evolved at an accelerated pace. He intuitively understood what I was doing, without me having to explain the details and nuances. His last words to me were, "Good luck, Ryan. I hope we win." There wasn't any opportunity for any long goodbyes. I told him I had to hide. He knew not to reveal my whereabouts. The alien vessel was attempting to dock at the station. But obviously they didn't have a compatible port to interface with it like the partner nations had. that bought me a little time to think. It occurred to me that Max's intelligent core was only 5 pounds. His consciousness was automatically sent to redundant data centers in Huntsville, Houston, and Cape Canaveral. It was downright foolhardy to attempt to take anything extra along with me other than food and water. But the huge advantages of having him back on Earth were worth it 1,000 times over. If I could make it to just one of those data centers and plug him into his user interface, the advanced AI would help tremendously. With my new unassigned mission, I could hardly believe it, the fate of the human race, if it still existed outside of me, rested on my shoulders. I programmed the repeating transmission on the PA and unplugged Max without a word. There was a small auxiliary bulkhead beside the dock interface, which I took shelter within. I tossed Max's core and a dozen MREs in my backpack, put 3 bottles of water in the side pocket, and closed the door. You can believe me when I tell you that our official weapons are not allowed on space stations for obvious reasons. Regardless of that, a man of science or creative engineering can construct a makeshift device to torch an oversized cricket, if necessary. I was ready if I was discovered prematurely. When the aliens did manage to open the dock station portal, I was blind. I had no way of knowing how many of them were present, or if any of them remained inside their vessel. The bulkhead didn't exactly have a peephole. I waited until their inhuman squeaks and buzzing grew faint, and then slightly cracked the door. They were busy searching the outer corridors and command console. I opened the door the rest of the way and crept out. Around the corner, I saw the open portal to their craft. It was the damnedest thing, but I was able to get through the threshold and into enemy territory. It was a foul stench, which I've come to realize is their species' body odor. Maybe crickets smell the same way, but the ordinary Earth variety, or so damn small that it's not noticeable. I was more prepared and ready than ever. Arm in hand, I gripped my makeshift torch to say hello to any shithead crew members that might have remained behind. Oh, lucky for them, it was unoccupied. Those bastards, those cricket-headed bastards, sent all hands into the ISS to exterminate whatever humans they expected to be encountered there. I found a hiding place and waited. And just waited and thought to myself, even if I fried all of them, even if I fried every last one of those cricket-headed sumbitches when they returned, the question is, who's flying the ship? I couldn't fly the ship, so I had to play it smart and stay undetected and regroup with any survivors left on Earth. Hopefully there were people alive in submarines, in mining operations, or sequestered in military bunkers who'd escaped the sterilization ray and electromagnetic bolts they'd inundated the surface with. I didn't want to believe, or even accept for that matter, that I could be the only man left alive. An undetermined amount of time later, I felt the seal close between their vessel and the station. Then the ship uncoupled and left. Only then did the not-so-fun possibility occur to me that they might not be returning to Earth. For all I knew, they were returning to their home planet, or searching for other inhabitable planets to seize. Honestly, my main objective, and my only objective at that point, was to survive. Everything else was a bonus. The mission plan was shaky at best. I was flying by the seat of my goddamn pants. But the most important thing was, I was still alive. It was the only way I could achieve any of my greater objectives. And as good fortune would have it, they did return to Earth. So far, everything was going my way. But I still had to escape their ship, find shelter, and hope whatever they sterilized the damn surface with was either temporarily or no longer toxic. That was a tall order. They weren't about to just leave the hatch open, so I either had to flee at the same time they did, or learn to operate buttons labeled in cricket. At some point, the hatch was open to bring in supplies. It was yet another gamble, but I decided to slip out when they were otherwise occupied. It was nearing darkness, and that aided in my escape from the alien craft. I realized they can't see well in low light conditions, and understanding that fact, as well as that their exoskeletons are not compatible with cooler climates, was incredibly useful knowledge. Well, that first night I ran under the cover of darkness and hid in a vacant house about 6 miles from their landing point. I had no idea where I was at first, other than the western part of the United States. All the billboard advertisements listed American items. It was hot, arid like desert conditions, which suited their body temperature limitations. I wasn't even surprised when I found the Roswell, New Mexico police station right down the street. It apparently wasn't the first time they'd been to Earth. It was, without a doubt, incredibly strange, witnessing the abandoned streets and buildings. I learned to sleep during the day and drive at night, with the headlights as dim as possible, and with an old paper map that I found in the house. I'm slowly making my way back east to Houston in a beat-up 1968 Dodge Charger. 50 miles at a time is all I dare to travel. Once there, I'll insert Max into his AI interface and hope the circuitry at Central Command wasn't fried by the alien beam. This portable cassette recorder I'm recording my log entries on, well, it still works. But it probably doesn't have a lot of modern microchips that run. none of the newer cars I've tried would start. I'm hopeful some of the computer equipment is still functional in Houston. And also, that I find other survivors along the way. If not, I'll keep on trucking towards Huntsville. This is Commander Ryan Abbott signing off for now, August 29th, 2023.